Alright, hello everybody, my name is Rizar. Welcome back to the third boss on the Criterion. Today we're gonna try to quickly go through the mechanics of this guy, because it's a pretty short fight, just like all the other Criterion bosses. And yeah, hopefully this can help you a little bit in getting the clear. It still will follow pace spin strats mostly, so you can keep an eye on that. If you're not sure about certain prios, or you want like a raid plan or something to show you a bit better. So the boss just dash north. He's cleaving one side, as you can probably tell. This whole section, he's gonna cleave all of this, right? Then his next dash, what he's gonna do is he's gonna go there, and then he's gonna cleave all of his left. So we're not safe here. So what we do is we go towards the boss, and then he's gonna cleave all of south. So we're gonna go towards north at the boss. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is this cast bar. You can see ember light. This can be pyro light. If it's ember, that means it's a spread at the end. If it's pyro, then it's a stack. Since it's ember, we have to make sure we spread. Now we just wait for this thing. Then we dodge towards 2. And then we go to the boss. You can also just walk this. Then we spread out like this with supports left, DPS right, facing the boss. And that's the first mechanic. Pretty easy. Already 20% gone of the boss HP. Now you might be familiar with this mechanic as well. In this case, we just like try to find the corner that's safe from all the cleaves after they rotate. In this case, it's 3. This kind of just takes some getting used to in terms of mechanical awareness, but you'll be able to see it quite fast once you get used to it. Now, another thing you have to keep in mind while you're doing this is whether it's casting Kindled Flame, like in this case, or Scattered Kindle, I think is the name. In that case, in this case at least, it's a pair. So it's ranged together, melee together. But if it's these scattered, so if it starts with scatter, then you just have to spread in this little square that you can see here. So we just make sure that the range are in the back usually, and the melee's in front. So you can see here, they barely got that because they were uptiming. There's a tank buster happening. Alright, so for this part, you basically have to track 2 things. It's easier if 2 people or 2 separate people track stuff, because then one person can just focus on the witch hunt and the other person can just focus on the swap, if it's necessary or not. Now, if it's clockwise, if it's like 2 reversed rotations, as you just saw, it just went counter and now it went clockwise. That means it's a stay, and it only always has 1 stay, so the other ones are swap into another swap. Now, meanwhile, the witch hunt is happening, and it's close, close into far, far. So I also type it in chat really quick, because you can type it like that in chat. CCFF just means close, close, far, far. And the order we do here is we just have the first ranged that baits out be a healer, the second ranged that baits out be a ranged. The first melee baiting in is the tank, and the second one is the melee. While they're baiting, the other people stack on the boss's hitbox as a 3-man. And that's how you resolve this mechanic. It's maybe a lot at first, but once you get used on doing something like that, and you divide some responsibilities, then it makes it very easy. Next up, Pari's Curse. You get a bunch of debuffs, and you have to basically look at what you want to resolve. In this case, we get 3 fires. It could also be that you have 2 fires. In this case we have 3 fires, but I don't have any other debuff. Here we have 2 spreads and then a stack, which means I have to be with the other stack. But since we have fire, we have to look for the ice crystal that spawns as well and get hit by that too. So what's going to happen here is just going to be a clone spawning north. He's going to cleave all of north in this case, could also be all of south. We just check where this ice crystal spawns, and then you might be familiar with this Thieves' Weave, the juggle mechanic. We just basically follow where the ice crystal goes. There we see where we this, and then we make sure that we're basically on a square that is safe from all the red crystal cleaves, but that also gets cleaved by the crystal. So this is the ice crystal, right? The ice crystal is right here. It's going to cleave these directions. And as fire, we want to make sure we get hit. So me and Kaylee will stack over here in this little area. And then the other thing that is nice to know is that there's always going to be a hype or like a fire crystal on one of these squares. So either on this square, on this square, on this square, or on that square. Now the safe positions for like not being hit by this is always going to be diagonally opposite of like this square. So this is safe, like this is good. Maybe I marked that in a different color. Let's say green. So this is a good square. 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 But since all of this gets cleaved by the AoE, you can only stand on this little edge, right? And then you can stand here and here. And those will be the safe spots for resolving your two-man stack. There's always going to be a two-man stack, either with or without fire. And there's always going to be two people that spread as well. So make sure you are aware of that. Now what we usually do is we just have like the stack go closest to middle. So this is like the middle, right? You should have the stack go there. And then we have the melee go in this position, and then the range go all the way out there. That's usually how we resolve it. It's kind of a prior system you can establish, but you can also just eyeball most of the time. In this case, they saw it wrong, but they can live because tank privilege. Just wanted to show another version of the curse where we have two fires with spreads and then one stack without any fires. We can also resolve this very easily. So we just check. We follow the ice, right? We want to make sure it's like being tracked. It's over there. Over there. And then we know this is safe, like on dragging out as well. This is safe, this is safe. The people that want to get hit. I'm rage, I'm going to be all the way out. And then they stacked over there, right? Closest to center. This next mech is also quite interesting. We find a way that's like pretty consistent. We have two chains. And it's not going to be important for later, but what we're going to look for is basically two fire orbs that spawn. The boss is going to throw some fire orbs. So we see the first set spawns here. These two are together. These two are loose, but we don't care about those. We only care about this. This is our new north. Take this as the relative new north. We're going to go south of that, so this way. For now. Let's move south. And now we see this next mech here. The next set of orbs. This orb here is also a set of two. What that means is after we drop a fire puddle, we're going to go here into the corner and then resolve another fire puddle over there. So you can see us already moving. Here we go. Now we move out, we drop the thing, we drop another one here. And then we go in between here to drop our last fire puddles. And then we move out to bait the chains. And then we get huge spread as well. Now how we resolve this is just the same prio as we had in the first boss. Is we have tank range go right side, facing out, while healer melee go left side. And DPS will have to adjust based on the chain debuffs that are applied. But you can already check for that like right at the start of mechanic, right? In this case, supports are together and DPS are together, so the groups are fine. So no adjustments need to be made. We just have tank ranged go right and healer melee go left. So you can see us do that here, and then we have the supports move all the way to the edge, or all the way through. Now that's that mech. Makes it very nice because you can have like good uptime here as well. Pretty consistent as well. Alright, see the doubling mech. This is the intermission. You can't hit the boss, but it's good to like know how it works. It's not too hard, but you have to like do a specific prior. You see the intersections again with the adds, right? You just want to always hug around these sections, and you just want to see what add you're tethered to. Now you can see 2 adds will resolve faster than the other adds. So in this case, you can see these 2 adds will resolve their thing faster than these 2. And you can see in a little bit that this matters because I and the melee both have a long debuff, while the tank and the range have a short one. Now what does that mean? That means that the short ones always take the tower in the intersection because they have to bait the boss cleave away from the rest of the arena. And that means that the long tethers, they always go clockwise towards the first tower that they can get. So since even though this tower over here is really good for me to get, and I really try to probably get it as well because I'm like, yep. It's better to go clockwise and get this tower because in some patterns you are forced to do so. There's many iterations of like this mechanic and like what tower spawn where, but if you have the long tethers move clockwise of your intersection, so in this case this is my intersection, right? Then it's always resolvable. So in this case I just get this tower, right? Because I have to bait the thing. And then my partner gets the other tower clockwise. And that's how you resolve that mech. The next mech is fairly simple. It's just like dodging the fire crystals and then resolving this pair stack. You can have the DPS adjust here again, as usual. The stacks can be on random people. It doesn't always have to be DPS. Or support, for that matter. But yeah, DPS adjust there should work. For this next part, we have a couple of swaps happening while you dodge the intercardinal. So it's always going to be 2 swaps and 1 stay. This time it's a stay at the end. But yeah, it's a swap. And then a swap again. And then I die. And then it's a stay. But yeah, that's basically the mechanic. It's not that big of a deal. You can usually just skip it, but we kind of just held damage there. I was falling asleep on the keyboard because it's already like 7 AM. No, I haven't slept yet, but I hope the guide kind of helped. It's like not too many mechanics, but I think some of them are pretty consistent in like how you clear them. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments or shoot me a message. Yeah. This was the one where it was pyro. There's many variations of some of these mechanics, so you just gotta get used to it. Especially boss 2 I think is quite hard, but I think once you're past boss 2 you will definitely kill this boss very quickly afterwards, so no worries there. Hope this helped, and enjoy your prog. Thank you guys for watching, bye bye.